Faraz here, and welcome to another episode of our running series here at OSA TV, What is a Fish? Now, a few weeks ago, we talked about the filefish and we talked about the triggerfish. Let's talk about something else in that kind of group of fishes. This family is near and dear, pretty much everyone's heart. It's Tetradontinae. So these are the pufferfish. They're literally described as the fourth tooth fish because they have four major teeth that compose up their beak. Most people consider this a marine family, and they should. There's vastly more saltwater puffers than there are freshwater puffers. My favorites being like some of the dogface puffer and some of these other species that really get really big and either be put in kind of a mixed reef with lots of leathers or fish because they have four major teeth that should really only be put in fish-only systems depending on their size and levels of aggression. But there are a lot of freshwater puffers as well, which people don't always consider. We'll talk about this in a future episode with African cichlids, but when the African rift lakes like Malawi, Victoria, and Tanganyika were formed, a lot of the ocean around the east coast of Africa got sucked in, and a lot of different marine organisms got a chance to give saltwater a try in this brand new freshwater, unique lake, pristine ecosystem. And a lot of freshwater pufferfish came out of this, including the largest species of freshwater puffer, or puffers at all, which is the Mobutu puffer. So these puffers are absolutely fantastic aquarium fish. What you see behind me are pea puffers. These are fantastic, but they are ravenous consumers of live feed. I really do recommend that they be placed either in a highly planted aquarium or a highly aged aquarium with lots of wood and rock work and even some plants to start off with, just so you have a big bloom of freshwater copepods, or if it's a brackish water system, brackish water copepods and other invertebrates, because they're constantly going to want to be feeding all day long. And you can feed them frozen feeds, and they may or may not take to it. And you can feed them live feeds such as blackworms and bloodworms, and I'm sure they'll consume them ravenously, but they'll be limited in how much nutrition they'll receive from a single live feed source. So really the idea to having success with these particular species is to have lots of invertebrates, nano-invertebrates from the pea puffers to constantly be grazing on. This family is always constantly designed to be patrolling around structure. As you can see, there are several individuals constantly hovering above the gravel line, and they're looking for small worms, small invertebrates, anything that they can put that little beak of theirs around. So a lot of people don't have success with this particular species because they don't realize how much live feed is going to be required. We sell copepods here, and if you want to pick up an inoculating dose of copepods, you can easily raise a brackish water culture of them and then constantly have a feed supply for your puffers. Maybe we'll go over something like that in a future video. So one important food source for these guys, both in saltwater and freshwater, is snails. Snails are a great cleanup crew in both saltwater and freshwater aquaria, but they are an ideal pufferfish food. One, because they're delicious, and two, because they have lots of calcium carbonate in their shells that the puffers need, and three, they have those shells themselves, because the puffer's beak and its teeth continuously grow throughout its life, so it requires constant grazing on hard-shelled prey items, or even grazing off rock to get algae and other things that are growing off of it, just to wear it down. Otherwise, long-term, they can have overgrowth issues. So it's very important to keep your puffer either A, feasting on hard-shelled prey items, or B, provide enough bioactive, hard rock work for them to be grazing. But a little bit of an abridged introduction to Tetradontinae. The pufferfish family has a lot of saltwater members that we'll probably have to address in a separate video, but it also has really charismatic freshwater and brackish water members as well that a lot of people are very excited about and with due course. These guys are absolutely awesome. So thank you for watching, and if there's any other fish family or subjects that you'd like us to cover in a future video, comment below, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and feed that algorithm like it was a pufferfish, anxiously trying to peck at any copepod it might see in the rockwork. See you next time.